EV Comply, simplifying your Chargepoint installations.
You know how it goes. Another week, another podcast. Friday the 4th of February. Here's your latest EV roundup brought to you directly from EV Comply. Let's start with this. Jaguar will get its own EV platform under Jaguar's Land Rover Reimagine electrification plan. It's going to be called Panthera. Now, the new platform will be absolutely bespoke. Designers and engineers are aiming to give Jaguar's EV distinctive proportions to set them apart from those of the sibling brand Land Rover. It's all being put in from the very start to ensure the platform is its very best, but more importantly, unique. Now, the plan for the all-new Jaguar model is launching to be electric by 2025, with 100% electric sales by 2030. Osprey is driving EV charging growth in the UK, with expansion to create more than 150 new charging hubs. Recent research from Auto Express publisher Autovia found that more drivers are now expecting to buy an electric car than a petrol-powered model for the first time. 34% of those polled opted for EV, against 18% for petrol and 10% for diesel. However, the survey showed that there are still concerns about access to charging points and how that could limit our journeys. Osprey is one of the networks helping to accelerate charging growth in the UK through a 75 million UK hub rollout commitment over the next 3 years, with the goal of putting multiple super fast chargers into convenient locations where drivers need the service the most. Osprey operates over 300 open access charging units that cater to every kind of rapid charging electric vehicle. In other news, Max Chilton has joined the McMurtry Automotive as head development driver, as the company seeks to develop the ultimate electric track car. The 30-year-old Brit, who spent the last 6 seasons in the IndyCar series, will not only develop the Sperling at numerous race circuits and testing venues over the coming year, but he will also serve as a spokesperson for the company. Managing Director Thomas Yates said, "I am really pleased to have Max join as a dedicated and leading member of our team as we now further increase our rate of testing and development. Very exciting, and we think Max is the perfect guy for the job." Could this help with the switch to EV? Larger footprints, more signs and prominent locations when it comes to charging stations. So companies are opening brightly lighted, canopied, very swanky charging stations. And of course, they're even converting gas stations into charging destinations, as we saw at the beginning of this year, as well as investing in better signage. Now, the upgrade and expansions will satisfy the new demand and make it clear to those non-EV drivers that charging stations would be available to them if they went electric. Drivers who don't see public chargers in and around their local area are, of course, less likely to make the switch to electric. Now, all of the changes are happening, and hopefully that does add some more confidence in the fact that going to EV is supported. Ford starts 2022 with its highest EV sales numbers to date. The company is now ranked as the top-selling US automaker and number 2 EV retailer. If the bonkers pre-order numbers for both the hybrid Maverick and the EV F-150 Lightning weren't enough of an indication, Ford's Q4 earning results are plenty proof that the company's electrification efforts are already paying dividends. Financial performance is obviously critical, said President and CEO Jim Farley. He went on to say, "We're also proud that customers see how Ford is taking EVs mainstream and have already ordered or reserved more than 275,000 all-electric Mustang Mach-E SUVs, F-150 Lightning pickups and E-Transit commercial vehicles, and we're breaking constraints to deliver every one of them as fast as we can." In other news, London's mining giant Glencore and electric vehicle battery startup Britishvolt will jointly develop a new UK battery recycling plant that will help reuse expensive key raw materials like cobalt and lithium. The plants will be built at the site of Glencore's operation in Northfleet, east of London, and it's set to launch in 2023. The recycling facility will be able to process at least 10,000 tonnes of lithium-ion batteries per year. The company did not disclose their financial investment or how many jobs will be created, but no doubt there will be quite a few, which is fantastic for the industry. So we apparently know the best chargers for 2022, and coming in at number 1 is the Juicebox 40 smart electric vehicle charging station with Wi-Fi. Ooh, sounds fancy. Now, the Juicebox 40 is finished with some polished and useful detail. It's easy to install, and its 25-foot connector cable allows maximum flexibility in use. Even its plug-in cord is longer than most, and that of course adds flexibility when mounting the box in relation to the necessary 240-volt plug. Now, Juicebox 40 has a built-in cable rack and security lock, and according to experts, one of the best controlling apps going. It can be started with voice command through Amazon, Alexa or Google Home, and you can use the app to set reminders, program charging hours and monitor energy consumption and cost precisely, which is why it's coming in at number 1. Secondly, the best EV charger overall runner-up is in fact the Chargepoint Home Flex electric vehicle charger. Now, its box is compact and stylish, and its connector locks into its holster or a charge port with a smooth click. The holster is ringed with a softly glowing halo of an LED. We all love an LED from time to time. And more significantly, the Home Flex can raise the peak charging rate to 50 amps if it's hardwired. Now, whilst that's almost overkill in a level 2 charger, given that 40 amps should still charge any EV overnight for years to come, the Home Flex will charge a few more current EVs, like a couple of the Teslas and the Ford Mustang Mach-E, at their fastest possible rate on residential alternating current. So quite impressive, and that's our runner-up. And coming in third as best EV charger value, especially if it's going outdoors, is United Chargers with the Grizzly Classic Level 2 EV charging station. Now, the Grizzly is designed and built in Canada. The Classic ships as a plug-in to minimise potential installation costs, but it is also suitable for hardwiring. It's manually adjustable from 16 to 40 amps, and that can save on installation too in the short run, as in you might not need a higher rated, more expensive circuit breaker until you have a car that needs the higher charge rates. So that's why it's coming in at number 3. So there you go, your top 3 chargers allegedly for 2022. Also this week, BP Pulse has opened its new electric vehicle charging hub at Gatwick's Q Park parking facility. The hub includes 3 ultra-fast 150 kilowatt charging units that charge an EV to 80% capacity in as little as 10 to 15 minutes, providing a range of around 100 miles. Using new hardware, the units will be upgraded to 300 kilowatts. The site also includes 4 50 kilowatt chargers, providing charging for airport users, taxi drivers, local businesses with EV fleets, and of course local residents. Enabled by UK power networks, the 7 chargers allow 10 EVs to charge simultaneously. General Motors Co. on Tuesday said that it will spend more than the $35 billion previously planned through 2025 to speed up launches of new electric vehicles. They also noted that investment in technology will take priority over richer profits next year. GM said it expects 2022 operating profits of $13 billion to $15 billion, in line with a record 2021 operating profit of $14.3 billion, even though vehicle production is expected to increase as semiconductor supplies improve and pricing powers remain strong. GM plans annual capital spending of $9 billion to $10 billion this year, and for the next several years, Jacobson has said GM is not paying a dividend. Norway has done it again with stunning new EV numbers of car sales in all electric. Official numbers published this week have revealed that 83.7% of all new cars sold across Norway in January were electric vehicles, with 19 of the top 20 vehicles coming with a cable. The record month for EV sales in Norway came at the same time as passenger car sales plummeted, with only 7,957 new passenger vehicles registered during January, 2,344 fewer than were registered in 2021, with only 175 petrol engine vehicles registered in January and 212 diesel engines. Non-electric ICE vehicles accounted for only 4.8% of new vehicles registered in Norway during Jan. The best-selling car in Norway for Jan was the Audi Q4 e-tron, with a total of 643 models delivered. And finally, Continental may be a name that auto enthusiasts mainly associate with tyres, but that could change in the very near future. The German-based auto parts manufacturer is hard at work developing a robot, yes you heard me, a robot, that will make topping up your EV's battery easier than ever before. Simply park your car on top of the machine and it'll take care of the rest for you quickly and efficiently. The robot, which doesn't currently have a name, is the result of a partnership between Continental Engineering Services and Volterio. It's not the first EV charging robot we've seen, but as new Atlas points out, it's easily the least ugly looking. That's because the Duo's machine is simple and stripped down, consisting of just two major parts: a ground unit, which is installed on the floor of your garage, and a receiver that attaches to the bottom of your vehicle. And finally, Continental may be a name that auto enthusiasts mainly associate with tyres, but that could change in the very near future. The German-based auto parts manufacturer is hard at work developing a robot. Yeah, you heard me right, a robot that will make topping up your EV's batteries easier than ever before. You simply park your car on top of the machine and it'll take care of the rest for you quickly and efficiently. Now, the robot, which doesn't currently have a name, is the result of a partnership between Continental's engineering services and Volterio. Now, it's not the first EV charging robot we've seen, but as New Atlas points out, it's easily the best looking. That's because the Duo's machine is simple and stripped down, consisting of just two major parts: a ground unit, which is installed on the floor of your garage, and a receiver that attaches to the bottom of your vehicle. So very disappointing for those of you who had Wall-E in mind when I said robot, but still, nonetheless, it's a very cool device. As ever, that is all from me, and you are now up to date with this week's latest EV industry news, courtesy of EV Comply. From everybody here, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll be back with you on Friday.